What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight at 147 pounds in England between Jack Catterall and Ekow Essuman. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Go to my main YouTube page, find that little notification button, click that so you never miss one of my daily professional betting live streams. Also, one more thing, pinned in the comments section below is a link to join our VIP exclusive Johnny Says Boxing Insider membership group. With that membership, it's a couple bucks a month. You then gain access to our professional betting Discord. Click the link to find out more. All right, guys, this is another exciting and busy week of boxing. The fights actually start this Friday here in Australia, with fights happening in Canada. There's fights in Mexico, the top ranked card. But this video feature, we will be highlighting a fight taking place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in Tottenham, England, on the undercard of the rematch between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Of course, I'm talking about the fight at 147 pounds between Jack Catterall and Ekow Essuman. So in this video, what I'm going to do is break down both fighters' careers. I'm going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business. We're going to talk about path to victories for both. And stay tuned to the end of the video. Like always, I'll be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be giving you my prediction and telling you where to put your money. All right, guys, the last time we saw Ekow Essuman, we saw him go in as the underdog against the former undisputed champion, Josh Taylor, and we saw him win a decision in Taylor's backyard. Ekow Essuman went in there as the betting underdog and surprised a lot of people. Did he surprise himself? No. When you watch his media, when you watch him give interviews, when you watch him train, when you watch his fight style, this guy, even at 36, believes he will be a world champion. The modern landscape at 147, there are some champions that you kind of would pair really well with the engine. Essuman outpointed Taylor in his last fight, and he feels that this matchup with Catterall will put him in a perfect position to beat Catterall and then propel him in the rankings to hopefully fight one of those champions at welterweight. Essuman's a guy who's going to use his output, his pace, his cardio. He's an orthodox fighter, and he knows how to win rounds. He likes using his pressure to make his opponent fight off of their back foot, and from there, he scores points. He has one loss on his resume. He has a decision loss to Scarf. He also has been dropped once before, recently in a fight against Cooper. It was a 10-rounder. He stopped Cooper in the 10th, but he got dropped in the 9th. But we know he's capable of getting off of the canvas late and winning rounds, and more importantly, winning the fight. In his opponent, Jack Catterall, if you ask me, he could easily be undefeated. He has 2 close split decision losses. This guy should be the former or current undisputed world champion. We know about the first fight against Josh Taylor, in which he lost a controversial decision. He then rematched Taylor when Taylor wasn't a champion, and he beat him. The other loss was a very close split decision loss on points to Arnold Barboza Jr. So that puts his career kind of in a nutshell. 32 years old. He is fighting at 147 now. He's coming off of a fight against Harlem Eubank. We covered it on the channel. We live streamed it. There was a cut and the fight got stopped, went to the cards. I had Jack up on all of the cards, and he won a technical decision. We know for this camp, he has left the UK, he has gone to the States, he is training in Philadelphia with Jaron Ennis and Jaron's dad, Bozy. So it's pretty exciting for me, being a fan of the minutia of the science. I love the technical side of the sport. Catterall is a southpaw. He likes to pick his shots. He's a counter boxer. He's not going to have a lot of volume. He wants to draw his opponents in and catch them with his backhand. We're going to see the elements of the game that Bozy has added. I talked a little bit about this on my live stream. I don't think it's going to be much of a tactical progression for Catterall, considering where he is in his career. More importantly, I feel that Bozy will probably have worked on the technical side of things in terms of sitting on punches, turning punches over, maybe using his lead hand a little bit more to throw power shots, and catching his opponent with that backhand, using his legs a bit more, bending a little bit more on his power shots. Only time will tell. We'll see right off the bat. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the one loss, Ekow Essuman, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Ekow Essuman is 22-1. Of his 22 wins, 8 of them are by stoppages. Out of 2,666 fighters at 147, he's ranked number 39. He's fought a career total of 175 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 36% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Engine. And the 36-year-old is a 5'10" orthodox fighter. He was born in Botswana but calls Nottingham, Nottinghamshire, United Kingdom home. We last saw him fight Josh Taylor, 19-2, won a UD in the 12th. Benn, 10-0, won a majority decision in the 10th. Owen Cooper, 10-0, stopped him in the 10th. Harry Scarf, 12-2, lost the decision in the 12th. Chris Congo, 14-1, won a majority decision in the 12th. That fight in which he lost to Harry Scarf, he got outboxed against Scarf. He then went on to win his next few fights, and this is what got him here. The big showcase against Josh Taylor, he performed well. He stepped up. He's going to go into this fight the bigger guy. He's the natural bigger guy at 147. He's fought bigger guys. Scarf was a bigger guy, and he got outboxed in that fight. So we're going to see how he's going to handle the smaller guy. We're going to see this classic orthodox versus southpaw matchup. With Essuman, you're going to expect the volume. You're going to expect pace. You're going to expect him to be on his front foot, and he's going to want to make Jack Catterall feel uncomfortable. We're going to see if he's going to be able to win these rounds on volume and points, and we're going to see if he's going to be able to avoid Jack Catterall's backhand. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at the southpaw, Jack Catterall, and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Jack Catterall is 31-2. Out of his 31 wins, he has 13 knockouts. Both losses are by points. Out of 2,666 fighters at 147, he's ranked number 5. He's fought a career total of 237 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 42% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as El Gato. And the 32-year-old Brit is a 5'7" southpaw with a 69-inch reach. He was born and raised and lives in Chorley, Lancashire, United Kingdom. We last saw him fight Harlem Eubank, 21-0. Won a technical decision in the 7th. Arnold Barboza Jr., 31-0, lost a split decision in the 12th. Regis Prograde, 29-2, won a UD in the 12th. Josh Taylor, the second time, 19-1, won a UD in the 12th. He then fought Linares and Dara Foley, won on points in both of those fights. And the fight before that was his first career loss to Josh Taylor. Rewatched the fight. It was a long time ago now. It was an opportunity for Catterall to become an undisputed world champion. And the judges and the points did not go his way that night. Catterall has never become a world champion. At 32 years old, it's now or never. He's made some recent moves in his career over the last few years. We know he's gone up to 47. I told you guys he went to the States for this camp, Philadelphia. I like that move. I like the looks that he's probably got in Philly. I like the addition of Bozy. I showed you guys a video of him hitting the pads with Jaron Ennis. It is a thing to brush shoulders with other champions. It is a thing to take something with you moving on as a fighter. And it's interesting to see what he's going to take with him into fight night with Ekow. Both of these guys are going to have contrasting styles. For me personally, a fan of the technical side, I'm really excited about this matchup. I talked about the main event already between Eubank Jr. and Benn. I told you guys in my breakdown, I wasn't excited for the rematch. I wasn't a big fan of that getting signed for various reasons. A lot of people on paper and on YouTube are saying this fight's going to be a sleeper. I disagree. I'm really looking forward to Catterall versus Essuman because all of what's at stake at 147, what's at stake for both fighters, and what version of Catterall are we going to get, and what version of Essuman are we going to get. Guys, before I give you guys the current Las Vegas odds and tell you guys my prediction, I want to remind everybody that I do live streams every single day. In those live streams, we talk about over and unders, underdogs of the weeks. I give you my long parlays. I give you knockdown props. All in all, tune into the live streams for all of those prop bets. In these Stats Zone live videos, you're only going to get my money line prediction. Wherever you are in the world, pull out your betting apps. I do want to announce this is the first video I have partnered with an Australian betting app called Dabble. If you want to follow all of my bets on Dabble, that link is pinned in the comment section below. Wherever you are, go to your app. On the money line, Jack Catterall is $1.57 favorite. 100 on Catterall gets your money back plus 57 bucks. The draw is 18-1. Essuman is a $2.55 dog. 100 on Essuman gets your money back plus 155 bucks. I think those odds are fair. Going into fight week, which was only yesterday, I was 90-10 on this fight. I was really close on taking Ekow Essuman. I watched Essuman's last few fights. I watched how he fared against Scarf. I watched the knockdown against Cooper. And obviously, I've watched Catterall's recent fights and his career. Where I'm at with my money line prediction, I think the southpaw is going to be too much. I think his output, which people should be weary of in terms of the stylistic matchup, won't be an issue. I like his accuracy. I like his punch placement. I think he's the cleaner fighter. I think he's been in there with the better opponents, and I just think we're going to see a class differential between Catterall and Essuman. So I'm going all in on the money line with El Gato. This is not an echo chamber, guys. You do not have to agree with me. In the comment section below, who you going with, Catterall or Essuman? Also, if you haven't seen my breakdown, analysis, and prediction of the main event on this card, the rematch between Benn and Eubank Jr., stay tuned to the channel because that's coming up right now. What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's fight in England. It's a rematch at 160 pounds between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn.
Take this fight again, boys, down this fight.
Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also give me a thumbs up on this video if you like my content? Also, find the notification button on my channel. What this will do is inform you and notify you every time I do one of my daily live streams. Also, one more thing, we launched our Johnny Says Boxing VIP Insider membership. That link is pinned in the comment section below. There's 3 different levels of membership. Whichever one you choose, you gain access to our private professional betting VIP Discord. Click the link to find out more. All right, guys, rematch is upon us. Whether you want to see it or whether you don't want to see it, the first fight was exciting. It was a 12-round war. It was last April, only 7 months ago, and it seems like it was yesterday. Time truly does fly when you're having fun. We've been covering boxing every single day. This is what we do on this channel. So there is a lot of boxing this week, not just in the UK. There's a great fun top rank card in Mexico, and there's other cards sporadically around the world. But in this video, what I'm gonna do is break down the main event at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. If you would have watched the first fight, you would have saw the boys go to war for 12 rounds. It was one of these rock'em sock'em robot action-packed fights. Neither guy was gonna give, neither guy went down, and at the end of the day, it went all 12 rounds, and the unanimous decision victory was awarded to Chris Eubank Jr. We broke down that first fight. In my prediction in that fight, I picked Chris Eubank Jr., so we won money. In this fight, you're gonna have to stay tuned to the end of the video. That's where I'll be going over my prediction. Also, I'll be telling you where to put your money. All right, guys, in this video, what I'm gonna do is break down both fighters' careers. We don't have to go that deep in this one because it's a rematch. I always talk about whenever we get these rematches back to back, you don't have to go too far. Just look at the last fight. With this fight, it's kind of a unique one considering the rivalry going back to their fathers, considering we just saw this fight go down in April. There's a couple things to keep in mind. This fight is at 160 pounds. There is, just like the first one, a rehydration clause. A couple things, if you didn't see the first one, to know going into this one. Chris Eubank Jr. is the bigger guy. He's the older guy. He's the naturally more sound boxer. Conor Benn, the younger guy, the faster guy, the more athletic guy. He's gonna be bringing that normal Conor Benn vitriol into the ring. The odds on this one are similar to the first one going into it, but when you watch that first one play out, a couple interesting things were happening in my opinion. I saw Conor Benn fighting exactly how he said he was gonna fight. He didn't take any back steps. Everything was one pace. Everything was gas. There were no breaks. What I'd like to see is some adjustments going into this fight. He's gonna have the speed advantage. I like his body work advantage in terms of how he looks in the pocket. I feel he's the more comfortable fighter in the pocket. I would like him to invest in the body way more this time around. Also, go to the body early. One more thing, do not headhunt. We saw this in the first fight. Call it emotional, call it hatred, call it what you will. I didn't think the fight IQ was quite there for Conor Benn to get the victory. I think there are multiple adjustments going into this rematch that Conor Benn can make. And if he does, I feel the odds will be better for him to come out victorious this time around. With Chris Eubank Jr., use your jab. He has the better jab. He's the bigger guy. He is the longer guy. I would not exchange as often as he did in the pocket as he did in the first fight. If I were Chris Eubank, I would use the ring. I would fight a little bit smarter. I would force Conor to come to you and make Conor fight at your range. Another 12-round affair, I feel, is going to favor the younger guy. When I talked about that this fight is only 7 months onward from the first one, it might sound like that's a lot of time for recovery, but guys, Chris Eubank Jr. is almost 37 years old. Recovery is a key point here. This is another 12-round fight, and both guys took a lot of damage. Now, when you think about all the volume, all the headshots, all the output that both guys landed on each other, 7 months isn't that long of a time to recover from and hopefully go into a rematch 100%. These questions will be answered. We'll know off the bat if Chris Eubank Jr. aged overnight, and we'll also know if Conor Benn has made any of those aforementioned adjustments. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at Conor Benn and see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Conor Benn is 23-1. Of his 23 wins, 14 of them come by way of knockout. Of his one loss, it was on points. Out of 2,326 fighters in the world, at 154 pounds, he's ranked number 15. Remember, this fight is at 160. He's fought a career total of 118 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 61% career knockout to win ratio. His adoring fans know him as the Destroyer, and the 29-year-old Brit is a 5'8" orthodox fighter. He was born in Essex, United Kingdom, but calls Ilford, Essex, United Kingdom home. We last saw him fight Chris Eubank Jr. the first time, 34-3, lost a decision in the 12th. Pete Dobson, 16-0, won a UD in the 12th. Orozco, 33-3, won a UD in the 10th. Chris Van Eerden, 28-2, stopped him in the 2nd. Chris Algieri, 25-3, stopped him in the 4th. That Chris Algieri fight was back in 2021. Then the Chris Van Heeren fight was in 2022. Those were his last 2 stoppage victories. He looked great and he looked brutal in those 2 fights. He lived up to his name, the Destroyer. We know since then he had that suspension. He had the cloud around his name and around his brand for failing PED tests. He had the long onward public battle with the BBOC, the British Board of Boxing, their council, and then finally they cleared his name. Whatever you're going to say about Conor Benn, I feel whenever you have a stain of a failed test on your resume, it's hard to shake that. So people will always say, wow, it must have been true. He hasn't looked like the same guy since he got tested and he failed that test way back in 2021 and 2022. Say what you will, he's gone undefeated since up until his last fight against Chris Eubank Jr. He put his hand up. He wanted to fulfill his father's legacy. He chose to take this fight at 160 once again. We know the first fight, it didn't go his way. I want to talk a little bit about, though, if you look at that first fight and you talk about deep water moments, even though Benn lost the fight, I feel he put Eubank Jr. in the more precarious positions than Eubank Jr. put himself. I felt like Eubank Jr. was the one who was hurt more oftentimes than not than Conor Benn was. I feel for Conor Benn to be victorious in this matchup, he's going to have to manage his gas tank a little bit more. I want to see him make adjustments. I want to see him not headhunt as often as he did in the first fight, and I want to see him work the body, fight smarter. Eubank Jr. is an older guy. He's going to be the guy who cut more weight. You put a rehydration clause on him once again. Break the body, then go up top. I feel in terms of adjustments, it's Conor Benn who is the one who can make more of the adjustments if he wants things to go his way. We'll see if he does. We'll see if he's able to harbor and control and harness those emotions and fight a little bit of a more smarter fight. Right now, let's take a look at his opponent, Chris Eubank Jr., see what he's been up to in his career. Guys, Junior is 35-3. Of his 35 wins, 25 of them come by knockout. Of his 3 losses, he's been stopped once. Out of 1,925 fighters in the world, at 160 pounds, he's ranked number 2. He carries into the ring a 71% career knockout to win ratio, and he's fought a career total of 246 pro rounds. The 36-year-old Brit is a 5'11" orthodox fighter with a 72-inch reach. He was born and raised in Sussex, United Kingdom. We last saw him fight Conor Benn the first time, 23-0, won a UD in the 12th. Zarameta, 25-2, stopped him in the 7th. Liam Smith the second time, 33-3, stopped him in the 10th. Liam Smith the first time, 32-3, he got stopped in the 4th. Liam Williams, 23-3, he won a UD in the 12th. And the fight before that, he stopped Essuman in the 5th round. This is a natural middleweight. This is the better boxer, in my opinion. He does things more technically on a more visceral approach. Literally similar to how his father used to fight. He takes things as they come to him, and he uses his fight IQ generally to get the victory. He has a better jab. He's going to be the bigger guy. He's the more seasoned guy. He's been in there with the better composition. On paper, him coming off the first victory, he is the favorite for a reason. I feel, though, he shouldn't play the games that he played with Conor in the first fight. He shouldn't embark on this slugfest phone booth fight. Will he be able to control his emotions? Will he be able to have enough endurance to use the entire ring this time around, to use his jab from the outside and keep Conor off of him? This will be the narrative of the fight, I feel. Chris Eubank Jr.'s path to victory: use your jab, fight Conor Benn at mid-range on the outside, use the ring, make Conor come to you, counter him, and win on points. Conor Benn, how you get the victory this time around: you force Chris Eubank Jr. into a dogfight like you did the first time. You invest in the body, you break him down to the body, and then you finish up top. We'll see if both guys go about it this way. The stadium is going to be crazy. I assume the same exact energy will be like we saw in the first fight. We know Senior's going to be on deck. He surprised us the first fight by showing up. Those surprises won't be happening this time around because we'll expect them to be there. Guys, before I get into the current Las Vegas odds and give you my prediction, I want to remind everybody I do live streams every single day. In those streams, I give you guys over and unders, prop bets, long parlays, knockdown props. I give you guys my dogs of the week. In order to get all of those bets, hit the notification button, tune into the lives, also join the Discord, click the link that's pinned in the comment section below. It's a couple bucks a month. On these Stats Don't Lie videos, you only get my money line prediction. All right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. Currently on the money line, Chris Eubank Jr. is the favorite once again at $1.58. You put $100 on Chris to win, you get your money back plus $58. The draw is 14-1. Conor the Destroyer is $2.60 dog, meaning 100 on Conor to win. You get your money back plus $160. I think those odds are fair, especially what we saw with the last fight. I think those odds are fair with the fight being 7 months ago. The draw, 14-1. I know there's going to be some boys in the Discord playing that draw. I feel this time around, something that isn't sitting with me properly is that time in rest, the recovery. I don't like that that fight was 7 months ago. I don't like that it went 12 rounds in terms of Chris Eubank Jr.'s hopes of this fight. Chris is going to be 37 soon. He's the older guy. He's the favorite here. He got hit a lot. He took a lot of damage. 7 months in the grand scheme of things at 36, 37 years old is not a lot of time to recover. We saw the footage of him in the hospital after the first fight. We know what's at stake. Legacy's at stake. You're giving me Conor Benn at plus money. I'm leaning into the dog. I'm hoping that Conor makes the adjustments I talked about. I'm hoping that he invests in the body. I'm hoping that he's able to control his emotions, and I'm hoping that he's able to break Chris Eubank down throughout the fight and manages his gas tank properly this time around. That is my pick. Upset of the week, dog of the week. You're giving me Conor Benn, the younger guy, even though he's a smaller guy, at plus money. I'm taking him. Guys, I know I picked Chris in the first fight. We hit on this first fight. I know the second time around I'm going against him, so this pick won't be as popular on my channel. But you know what I'm going to say. This is not an echo chamber. In the comments section below, I want to hear who you're going with. Is it going to be business as usual for Chris Eubank Jr., or are we going to see Conor Benn redeem himself and possibly set up the all-rare trilogy? Let me know. Leave all that in the comment section below. Also, guys, like I said, a lot of boxing this coming week. Rafa Espinoza is fighting. Lindolfo Delgado is fighting. This undercard is a banger at Tottenham, so stay tuned to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.